Well, that was good, wasn't it? Son of Chelsea here for my review of Chelsea 5, Newcastle 1. One of the best performances I've ever seen from Chelsea, and I don't think that's an over-exaggeration. Definitely, probably by a country mile, our best attacking performance of this season. The amount of goals, the way we looked, the amount of players who were on form today, absolutely exceptional from Chelsea today. Everything we wanted in that first 20 minutes. Everything I wished of Chelsea. You know, we've been slow and lethargic in a lot of home games this season, in a lot of games in this season, and that first 20 minutes, we got in Newcastle's faces, we scored the goals, we got in front, and basically the game was over in 20 minutes, and that's credit to Chelsea. That's credit to the attacking players who stepped up today. Also credit to Gus Hiddink with his team selection. I was surprised to see both Oscar and Mikel get dropped. My assumption is because Matic is suspended for the game against PSG. That's why he got the full 90 today. So I'm sure Mikel will be back in on Tuesday. And I thought Matic actually stepped up today, played really well. Started off so well. Willian, once again, running through the middle, bursting with pace like we know only he can. Gets the ball through to Costa, who has some brilliant movement. To get that going from that tight angle and as well, considering he was basically on the floor being challenged and was able to still poke it in, get the angle on it. Another goal from Diego Costa. Since Boxing Day for me, he's changed completely the way he's been playing. He's been brilliant, he's been clinical, his movement, his work rate. Everything we want from Costa has been there, and I think that's massive credit to Costa. I don't know what's changed about him, like a lot of these players. I don't know what's changed. Maybe it might have been a change of manager, something else. I don't know. These players suddenly... like Costa, like Fabregas, like others as well. Second goal, Pedro latching on, my man in the match. Pedro was absolutely outstanding today. From first to 90, another player who really impressed me. There's been a lot of criticism for Pedro, and rightly so. You know, he hasn't stepped up to the plate after the performance he had way back at West Brom. Direct today, his work rate, his skill, his flair, his clinical nature today to get those 2 goals, the willingness to score those 2 goals for me. All round, I think you can't really say that. I can't think of another player who stood out as well. They all did brilliantly, don't get me wrong, but I think Pedro was really good today, and I'm happy for him, and hopefully he can continue this form because he's a really good player, you know, and there's no denying that. And I think people who try and claim that he's technically poor, I think Pedro for me has obviously had some problems with injuries when he's come to Chelsea, being the poor season. Players have time to adapt, of course, but I think Pedro hopefully can turn out to be a brilliant player for Chelsea, and hopefully with this form will give him the confidence to start scoring more goals and start impacting games, because on his day, as we've seen today, the quality he has, he can be a key player for Chelsea. The third one was Costa, who'd been assisted by Willian, and Costa himself assisted Willian for the third goal. Simple ball over to Willian, who clinically put it away for free. Just brilliant football, and everything we've wanted from Chelsea this season hasn't been there for most of the time, was there today. Just the free-flowing football, and that's why I have to put it down as one of the best performances I've ever seen for Chelsea. I just think we blew Newcastle away. I think the way we played, the attacking nature, everything was coming off for Chelsea in that first 20 minutes, and the game was pretty much over. As well, one thing I quickly want to talk about was JT. Seemed to get a bit of a knock. Eventually, he had to come off. I thought he looked like he'd outstretched something, like he really stretched something. And of course, you're worrying what would happen to Zuma. He continued on, but eventually got taken off later on in the second half of Babarama, who came on and did a decent job. I hope it's nothing too serious. From what I could tell, it's nothing too long-term, but you never know with these injuries. But just hope that Terry will be fit enough for Tuesday in that key game against PSG. In the second half, we came out a little bit slowly. Newcastle definitely, for me, obviously tried to do what they could to get back into the game. But once we got control of the game, once again, Cesc Fabregas picking up the ball from deep. A brilliant ball over to Pedro. Pedro gets in there, the willingness, and scores his second and makes it 4-0. Then late on, some brilliant play from Hazard. Azpilicueta on the right, who moved over to the right after JT got injured. Brilliant low cross into Traore, come on from Diego Costa to make it 5-0. Late on, Andros Townsend, former Tottenham player, it was just meant to be, wasn't it? Scored the goal for Newcastle, and that was pretty much it. But overall today, just an excellent performance. Loads and loads of positives about today. The fact that we entertaining, you know, the football we played was outstanding. The form of players looking really good, especially going into these very 2 key games. We've got the game against PSG on Tuesday, and then next Sunday against Man City. These are the 2 competitions, you know, that we really have any chance of winning. Probably we have more chance of the FA Cup, I know, but I think we've got a decent chance of beating PSG. Some people may say I sound a bit ludicrous, but with if we put on performances like that, you know, with the quality we have, then we can do something. You know, it's not like we've got crap players. I think, you know, it's obvious we've got good players. They just haven't been performing up to the standard which we know they should. Today was a brilliant performance from Chelsea, and I think in the context of what it was, I know there'll be lots of, oh, it's Newcastle. You know, Newcastle are prone to have these disaster away days, but from what I saw from Chelsea, I think it was pretty clear the football we played was outstanding. The best performance of the season by a mile, scoring 5 goals at home, a dominant performance. The positives are all there. But guys, in the comments below, let me know your opinions on today's win. What do you think it can do for our team? Outstanding performances like Pedro, Costa. Who was your man in the match? For me, it has to be Pedro, but you guys may have a different opinion. Leave them down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again. There was another story on that night that Dan brilliantly reports on in this article that I encourage you to go and read yourself. I think he done a brilliant job kind of representing Chelsea fans and talking about, hey,